Maxxine Dupri carries Raw for the second week in a row. LA Knight gets jobbed out once again, and we're getting another Jey Uso semi-push in which he might win the title on Saturday Night Main Event. We're going to get to everything in the order of the segments on the show, so we'll talk more about that later. So starting off the show, we had a Braun Breaker segment with Adam Pearce. This was a pretty strange segment, kind of awkward. I think the crowd itself, they were even chanting, "This is awkward." So the funny thing with this segment to me is the point of this segment was Adam Pearce punishing Braun Breaker. He had this whole talk about, oh, you attacked the champion, you got rid of the champion, give me the title, you vacated the title. But what he did wasn't a punishment. You basically gave him a free number one contenders match. So he really got rewarded for taking out Seth Rollins. So I know later in the night, apparently, Crimson Blaze was telling me about this. I missed this segment. Apparently later in the night, like Adam Pearce came and took him out of the Battle Royal. But that was what was funny about the first segment to me to start off the night, because he talked about it like he was punishing him, but he basically gave him a free number one contenders match. And I want to go over to the explanation. So a big problem with WWE this year has been the lack of explanations for when big turns happen, or the explanation rather is stupid. So a lot of times, like when something happens, you won't really get an explanation. Like with the Vision, for instance, just them coming together, there really was no explanation for why they formed. Hit that like button and subscribe to the Crimson Wrestling Federation, brother. There was never an explanation for why Bronson Reed joined the faction, why Braun Breaker joined the faction, why Paul Heyman would pick Seth Rollins of all people. There was no explanation for any of it. So coming into the night, I kind of expected more of the same. And it really wasn't the best explanation from what I gathered from the segment. What they basically were saying was that they turned on Seth Rollins because he got hurt, which is stupid. But I know he got hurt in real life. So I guess maybe this was their best explanation. But essentially in this segment, they were saying they turned on Seth Rollins because he hurt his shoulder. So I guess they lost faith in him as a leader because he got hurt, but they didn't lose faith in, well, I guess because it was a fake injury. But he's been hurt before. Like, he's been hurt many times throughout his career. So they lost faith in him because he had a shoulder injury, so they just took him out. But I guess that may have been the best explanation they can come up with. So, moving on from that. So next up was AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. They're the same wrestler. Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day. This was a pretty solid match, even though it's really formulaic. I feel like every week we always have a Judgment Day versus AJ Styles match, like some combo of AJ Styles and Penta, or Ray Phoenix. Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day. There's always some combination of that. It was a good match, just very formulaic. I guess it's good to see AJ Styles winning a title, in his last year and stuff. But this pairing is very random. To be honest, even during this match, it never registered to me that him and Dragon Lee were a tag team. It's just a very random tag team and pairing. So, and the Judgment Day, it's been way past overdue to finally split them up. So yeah, I don't got much to say about this. Like, solid for what it was. Next was Rusev versus Dom. I actually could be skipping something. But the next thing I saw was Rusev versus Dom. Didn't really care for this. Dominic's IC title reign has really been horrible. All he's done is pretty much just fight Penta and then just fight jobbers in AAA. So, but I guess it's cool he retained here. Probably the best person you have, in the heel role for the IC title. So it's whatever. Pretty much the draw of the night for me, Maxxine Dupri versus Becky Lynch. Easily the draw of the night for me. Crimson Blaze was basically saying, like, he thinks Maxxine Dupri is like the most beautiful woman he's ever seen. And I was saying too during the show, like, wrestling ability does not matter. I feel like a lot of fans really don't realize this. Wrestling ability does not matter. You could legit sell a WrestleMania main evented by Jade Cargill and Maxxine Dupri based off of their looks alone. Like, it's never matter. Like, it does matter to an extent, but as far as drawing people in and actually investing viewers and like the story and, just it looking cool, wrestling ability does not matter. But Blaze was also saying that, they should have, instead of, this championship battle royal, the number one contenders, they should just have a battle royal for who gets Maxxine Dupri, which is which is hilarious. But honestly, I'd like to see that. Like everybody on the roster should just be fighting for Maxxine Dupri. But that's besides the point. I thought she should have won this match against Becky, especially in her hometown. I guess because they're trying to save it for a PLE. I suppose like maybe they just didn't want to have it on Monday Night Raw, but there was no better place to do it than in her hometown. So I think that was a missed opportunity, but moving on. But definitely Maxxine needs to be more on this show. I kind of feel about her like I do with Mina Shirakawa in AEW. Like that woman is gorgeous, and like she needs to be on AEW a lot more. Like it's the same thing with Maxxine here. So after that was Stephanie Vercure versus Roxanne Perez. I didn't really care for this, to be honest. I don't really care much for Stephanie Vercure. I don't think she's all that interesting, if I'm being honest. Like she is a good, she's a good wrestler and everything, but it's nothing special outside of that. Like everybody's a good wrestler. I really feel like she's only over because of, the booty moves she does. But outside of that, there's nothing that's really captivating. She is improving her English, I'll give her that, but she's not really charismatic. There's not even a catchphrase. There's no insane character work. It's basically, I guess, a goth girl with just a booty move that she does. That's why she's over. Everybody knew she was going to beat Roxanne Perez too. I think we all knew that was coming. I don't even know how she got that match, how Roxanne got this match, because she's just been a complete loser this entire year. I don't think she's won a match probably since February or something. So I don't even know how she got this match. But Stephanie wins. Nikki Bella comes out after Raquel and Roxanne attack her. I feel like that's kind of all Nikki Bella does. Like she'll kind of be gone. And then when the babyface gets attacked, like she'll come out and save the babyface. So I guess that's what Nikki Bella's role is right now. But cool to see Nikki up there again. Also Stephanie Vercure, she botched the springboard, which was, it's always hard to watch, like when someone botches and they try to recover and, downplay it. But nothing much to say here, even though I did kind of say a lot. So moving on to the Battle Royal. So this was to see who would face CM Punk at Saturday Night Main Event. So I'm really not surprised. At this point, I'm used to them burying LA Knight. I thought LA Knight really was the clear winner here, in my opinion, since, I've been wanting him to get pushed for forever. But in this case, there was a clear story on why he should win, because him and Punk had actually been semi-feuding for the past month, like them going back and forth with each other. So in my opinion, it kind of made sense for him to win this match. But Samoan privilege proceeds again with Jey Uso and, in the bloodline, which really as soon as CM Punk said on commentary, like, oh, if I had to pick somebody to win, it's LA Knight. We pretty much knew that Jey Uso was winning. So, or Dom, maybe even AJ Styles, but I'm not really looking forward to this match. I don't really know why they're pushing Jey Uso again. Like when he was pushed and on top as world champion, nobody liked it. Like the internet was really an outrage, Now I didn't mind it as much as most people. I wasn't really like hating on it, but you can see clearly that a lot of people, don't like this. There's nothing to Jey Uso. It's just yeeting. That's all it is. I will give them credit. At least they are trying to add a bit of a dimension to his character, like making him more serious and kind of the tug of war between listening to Jimmy and listening to Roman. And my brother Crimson Blaze during the show, he was even saying that there's a chance he wins this match. Like, because they gave him the world title when he was goofy, when he was a complete goofball. So they've been spending all this time building him, as this serious guy, like being more ruthless, savage. So that's got to lead to something. So he possibly could win this match, which I don't think I'm looking forward much to a Jey Uso title reign, another Jey Uso title reign. It's really a shame, man. We've had, think about this. We've had two, or we might in the future, we might have two Jey Uso title reigns. We've had two Gunther title reigns. We've had a Damian Priest title reign. And again, with Gunther selling no merch, not drawing people in, not telling any good stories, we can do all that. But for all is holy, we just cannot give LA Knight a world title reign. We can give all these inferior talents a world title reign. But the guy that's been over for 3 years, that got himself over, that everybody's been, clamoring to win Money in the Bank, all this stuff, we're just not going to do it. We're gonna do another Jey Uso title reign when he's already just completely failed. But because Samoan privilege, because he's Samoan, he's involved with the bloodline. I don't book the show. It is what it is. Am I looking forward to this? Like I said, not much. I'm pretty sure CM Punk's gonna win, and my prediction really is that Punk is gonna win, and Gunther's gonna return, and you're gonna see Punk and Gunther, and that's when I'm gonna lose all interest again once I see that, because like I always say on this channel, Gunther is just the most boring wrestler in the world. But I have a feeling that we're gonna get something along those lines. Like Gunther will come back and he'll feud with CM Punk, and the ratings are gonna nosedive even more because Gunther's not a draw. So yep, that's my opinion on this Raw this week. Like and subscribe, join the Crimson Wrestling Federation. We try to get at least 3 to 4 videos a week just coming up. Peace out. For more of the Crimson Brothers, follow the Crimson Wrestling Federation today. I'm commentator Havoc, the voice of the Crimson Wrestling Federation. And you can see the calls I've made in the Crimson Wrestling Federation, in the comic Crimson Wrestling Game, Story of Malice, in the description below.